and welcome back to our series on healthy eating / weight loss. So the subject that I'd like to address today is consistency. It takes consistency to have success. And there's a lot of things that happen in life that throw us off, and we kind of fall off the wagon, and once that's happened, it's really difficult to get back on. Say we set our sights at healthy eating and we have a couple of weeks where we do awesome. We start to see the weight peel away, and then all of a sudden something happens, we get upset, a change in schedule where we don't have access to food, we haven't planned properly. All these different things can get in the way of that consistency. So I'd like to tap about that aspect today. So please join me by tapping on the side of the hand. Even though it's hard to be consistent for changing my eating habits to healthy ones, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though it's hard to stay consistent, and day after day after day takes a lot of work. Lots of things come up for me, and my go-to is to eat. And to eat foods that are not good for me. I acknowledge this about myself, and I love myself anyway. Even though I have trouble staying consistent, and I always get off to a great start, but after a few weeks it gets old and I want to throw in the towel. I know this about myself, and I'm willing to change that now. And I love and honor myself fully. At the eyebrow, staying consistent in healthy eating is really hard for me. It's easy to get a plan in mind, and I have a first good couple weeks. But then something happens and it always falls apart. I fall off the wagon. I don't keep going and I quit. I revert back to old habits. I make excuses for myself. I talk myself out of achieving my goal. I sabotage myself. I decide my pleasure and comfort is more important. I'm tired of denying myself. After all, what could a few junk food additions to my diet really do? It won't really matter that much if I have a Diet Coke. It won't really matter that much if the quality of my food isn't there. I tell myself these things in hopes that I'll feel better. I try to let myself off the hook, so it's okay that I failed. But in truth, it doesn't really let me off the hook. And it adds to things I feel bad about. Even if I'm not feeling bad consciously. On the inside, I feel as though I failed again. What if I would have a different outcome by making a different choice? What if I chose to be consistent? What if I chose not to give excuses? What if I chose to be responsible? That when I fall off the wagon, I admit it promptly, choose not to beat myself up over it, and get right back on. Consistency is not perfection, but consistency is staying at it with my imperfections. That means when I eat something I shouldn't be eating, whether that means it's going to put on weight or make me feel bad in my body or for whatever reason, I can just accept that. I can accept that I'm human and had a weak moment. And then get right back to what I'm supposed to be eating or want to be eating. Then there's the supposed to be eating thing. If I feel I'm supposed to be eating things, my heart's not really in it. It's all about what I should do. And then when I don't, I shame myself. So instead of thinking that I'm supposed to eat things, I change my mind about that. I want to eat things that are good for me. I want to eat things that'll bring about weight loss. I want to eat things that nourish my body. I want to eat foods that make me feel good when I eat them. And I know that sometimes I'll make a different choice. And that's okay. I'm capable of getting right back on my eating plan without any guilt or shame. And I release any guilt or shame from the past about eating foods that I didn't want to eat. Well, I acknowledge that I wanted to eat them at the time, but down deep I didn't want to eat them because they would sabotage my goal. I release any negative feelings about that. I choose to see it as it's part of life. We make choices sometimes that we wouldn't really want to make. We give in to circumstances. And that's part of the big picture. I accept that I'll be interrupted by things that happen in life from fully eating how I'd like to. And at the same time, I choose consistency. I choose to eat well for my body as often as I can. And I choose to take the steps to make that more and more often. Eating healthy is my choice. I don't have to. There are no shoulds. But I truly want to eat healthy. Today, I choose to eat healthy. And I let go of anything that's blocking me from this. And I release any emotions that are trapped and sabotage me. And I do this all with ease. And take a breath. And let it go. I'm just acknowledging, I realize today's tapping is a little bit longer, but this is such a big thing for us to stay consistent. And so many times we guilt ourselves for that, and then we totally give up and we throw it all out. So encouraging you to let yourself be human, but at the same time, stay consistent. Thanks for tapping with me. We'll see you tomorrow.